Thought the guys were really ready to play. Came out of the gates great. It's how we envisioned them playing. It was nice to see. Middle of the first half, I turned to my staff like, man, it feels like we should be up more than 6 because I thought we were playing well. But they just kept hanging around. And then obviously the second half didn't start off great. And then finally we were able to get some separation and close them out.
Clinch the #1 seed, share the WAC title. What does that mean kind of moving forward? Obviously a big hurdle that you guys were able to do.
Yeah, it's a checkbox. You know, we didn't shy away from it this week. We talked to our team about the opportunity to earn the #1 seed, and we wanted to get it done. I wanted to put some pressure on them. I wanted them to feel like they had to win the game. Obviously, in a couple of weeks, we'll be playing games like that. It will be very meaningful, and I thought they were ready to go. They were really locked in. They were really talking on defense and flying around there. I think we had 10 offensive rebounds at halftime, and we'd only missed like 12 shots or something crazy like that, and it was really impressive, and it feels good to get that out of the way. And now, you know, we've set ourselves up for a road opportunity at Thursday to clinch an outright championship, and that's what we're going to talk about, you know, leading up to that game. And I've loved how it's played out to give us these opportunities to put them in these positions to have, you know, something to play for and to be able to, you know, prepare them for what's next.
You talk about the pressure. I thought that they handled it really well, especially considering how chippy the game got. Is that like a kind of sign of their composure?
I hope so. You know, we talked a lot about that prior to the game, that we've played some teams like this since we've been here, and we've always done well against teams that pressure and trap, except for the first half at their place. Other than that, you know, when we play that style of play, we've been very successful against it. And so we talked about, you know, regaining our confidence going forward. And I really thought in the first half we had 7 turnovers, but I think at least 3 and possibly 4 were offensive fouls. They weren't, you know, passing and catching, and they gave us fits in the first half over there. And then in terms of, you know, I got chippy, and you know, I'm always proud of our guys, you know, the way they handle themselves, and we talk a lot about it. And if we ever have situations like that, we try to, you know, learn from it and use it as a teaching point. But I thought, you know, obviously without watching the video, that they handled the situation pretty well.
Could you talk about what it seemed like? Were you just separating guys? I mean, it seemed like it got kind of, you had a little confrontation with Coach Hill.
I didn't have a confrontation with him.
Conversation, I guess.
Oh, excuse me.
Can you talk about what was exchanged there? I mean, it seemed like
I couldn't really hear him. You know, I think he thought I said something that I didn't, and, you know, he apologized. And, you know, it was 2 teams intently trying to win a game, and unfortunately, you know, that kind of spilled over, and certainly wish it wouldn't happen.
What did you see on the play? Because this is the same team that the you know, Yvonne thing happened at their place. You called that a basketball play. What did you see on this one?
I'd have to watch the video. You know, the referees called it a flagrant 2. They ejected him, and they had the opportunity to watch the video. I love that kid. I mean, Levi plays really hard. He's a great competitor. Sometimes, you know, you get emotional and make silly plays. But again, I mean, I'd have to watch the video to really comment any further on it.
You talked about the conference championship, but you know how important is the #1 seed in the tournament in a couple of weeks? Like in a decent league, solid league from top to bottom, how important is that?
It's really important. You know, the way it's worked out, we're going to get more rest. You know, since we're the #1 seed now, I guess I can say that. And I think mentally as much as physically, that really helps you when you get that rest, and it gives you confidence too. You know, we like the X on our back, and so obviously we're going to have that X on our back as well. And I think it gives our kids a lot of confidence that we're the team to beat. Certainly we're in a league, which we've talked about ad nauseum, of how many good teams there are. And, you know, they're not going to have any fear of us at all, especially all the close games we've had. But I'd rather be the #1 seed than any other seed.
You'd also said earlier this week how, you know, a regular season WAC title, maybe in the grand scheme of things with it notoriously being a 1-bid league, doesn't necessarily mean as much, but as far as like the length and the play, I mean, what is it about a WAC regular season title that's so hard to be done, and you've done it now twice?
It means something to me, and it means something to our kids, and it's something that we talk about from day one. You know, that's one of our goals, to win the regular season championship, and any coach will tell you that, you know, it's harder. You know, it's harder, and anyone can get hot in a 3-game or 4-game conference tournament. And we all understand, the eyes on the prize of the NCAA tournament and what that means across the country, and we get it. And those games are going to be huge. But I think when we all look back, that we're going to be really proud of winning back-to-back outright conference championships. And next year we're going to try to do it again. And it's important to me. It's important to the players. I think it's important to our fan base as well. And I've said it many times that if we're in a tournament, I don't care if it's a November tournament, Thanksgiving, Christmas, conference, regular season, our goal is to win it. And so, it feels good to get that done.
I don't know how many games it was, Coach, but it seems like you've had the same guys at least start the game for a few
It's
games.
been a while.
Yeah, I don't know how many games exactly, but are you settled on that, first 5 going out there and setting the tone for whatever you?
It looks that way, unless something crazy happens here in the next week or two. I can't imagine, throwing that rhythm off. I like who we start. I like, the rotations are getting a little more solid now, where I know where I'm going to go, the first sub, and then who we're going back with. And it's taken us a long time to get there. But at the same time, 11, 12 are sitting there, and I still feel good about, if needed, putting those guys in there and they'll produce. So it's nice to have options, and we've had that this season.
Eli scored his 1,000th point. You've had the chance to coach him for 2 years. When we asked his reaction about it, he's just like, finally, I've been here long enough. But how happy are you for him? And it seemed like his teammates, when they made that announcement, were really excited for him.
Yeah, he's a big fan. I mean, his teammates are a big fan of his. I mean, if you get to know him, like a lot of you have, he's got an infectious personality, and he's fun to be around off the court. He's a wonderful kid. He's a great human being. And in terms of the basketball, it's just been I'm really proud of him, because it's been a struggle a little bit. It's been documented with the expectations that were placed upon him last year in our first year, that didn't have the numbers of the season, but he kept with it, and he easily could have left. Easily could have left in the spring and packed up tent and went somewhere else, which a lot of people are doing now this day and age. And he stuck with it, and he worked harder, and now he's playing, the way we envisioned him playing. And for him to get that milestone, it'll be something that he'll have forever, that he'll be able to share with his kids and hopefully his grandkids. And when he's old and fat, he can say, hey, I was a 1,000-point scorer in Division I, and it'll be really cool for him to have for the rest of his life. And I know it's meaningful for him too. But he's just playing the best he's ever played under my watch, and we're hopeful that he'll continue doing that, because when he plays like that, it provides us another dimension.